Coach Eric Mangini. Hey, Coach,
What
how are you?
Coach? Good to see you.
See everybody?
Can I tell you guys something?
Glad you survived dinner last night.
Coach and I had dinner last night. Guess what I didn't have to do? Try to get a word in edgewise, which tends to be what happens here sometimes. I was able to speak freely as often as I wanted to. I got all my takes out.
I imagine Jenna had takes until the check came, in which case she had texts. She had texts to answer when the check came. Would be how I guess that
was. Why don't you tell these gentlemen what a good dinner date I was last night?
I think dinner is a little bit generous. It was a little like dinner in Boca. We went at 4 o'clock.
We went at 4 o'clock.
Let's split one of those.
You said you were okay with 4 o'clock. We were the first ones there.
They were like, you know, it was us and several senior citizens.
They gave us a lunch menu.
They were very nice. They had a great egg special.
All right. Meanwhile, I got all my takes out last night.
It was mad takes.
We were mad takes, Coach.
Okay, well, good. Next time we'll take your time today.
Thank you for dinner last night. Odell isn't the only NFL star looking for a contract. Steelers star running back Le'Veon Bell wants a new deal as well. Bell's big claim is that he's more than just a running back. And he let the Steelers know he wants the same $17 million average salary that his teammate, star wide receiver Antonio Brown got. Oh, okay, no problem, said not the Steelers. Steelers aren't ready to make that deal. Bell had 655 receiving yards last season. Coach, I'll open this up with you. How vital is Le'Veon Bell to the Steelers' success this year?
He's vital to their success. And when you look at his numbers last year, they're impressive. He had 321 carries for a 4.0 average. He had 85 receptions. So there's a tremendous amount of production. He does cause problems from a scheme perspective. Do you want to load the box up? That opens up things for Antonio Brown outside. Who do you want to cover him with? Do you cover him with a safety? Do you cover him with a linebacker? There's so many things that he brings to the table, you know, from a scheme perspective. Now, that being said, he's missed 18 games over the course of his career. 2 for suspensions, 3 for injuries. It's not like you can count on him to be there throughout the course of the whole season. They have won without him. And what he's asking for is 100% plus of the highest paid player at his position. It's pretty unrealistic.
When you say 100%, 100% more. It doubled the highest paid guy in his position.
I think the highest paid player right now is at $8 million.
He wants 17.
For 17. And really, they're at 14.5 right now with the franchise. We're talking about $2.5 million difference. There's got to be some middle ground here.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's totally fair to say we're only talking about a $2.5 million difference, because I think he would happily take $14.5 million in a multi-year deal. I think if the Steelers came to him and said, we'll give you what Allen Robinson got, 3 years, $42 million. Like, that's $14 million per average. I think his concern is that it's not. I don't think it's that he needs much more than $14.5 million per year. I think it's the one-year nature of it. I know he's saying he wants 17. I would agree with you that they're not that far from 17 to 14, but they're not offering him 14 over 3 or 4 years. I get Le'Veon Bell's frustration, because he is a much more valuable player than the player I just mentioned, Allen Robinson. I think every team in the league, if you were to say, would you rather have Le'Veon Bell or Allen Robinson, take your pick, I think 32 teams would say Le'Veon Bell. It's the market is skewed for the position in which he plays, the running back's position. Right now, the running backs are underpaid given their value to the team if you're an elite running back. How valuable is he to Pittsburgh? To me, you can do a 30-30-40 pie if you want, but he is about 1/3 of the reason that I look at them as such a special offense, because they have a top 5 quarterback, they have the best wide receiver alive, in my opinion, and they have a top 5 running back. Like, they're the only team in the league that has anything close to that right now. So I get why he's important to them. I also get why he wants more money, and I understand why the Steelers would say, listen, if we gave you $11 million a year, we're giving you 38% more than the highest paid guy. Like, he is trying to totally reset the market.
Quick question: Is it even on the table to pay him if he didn't have all these issues in his past? Do you think it'd even be an option for the Steelers?
Well, it's interesting when you read some of the articles and they talk about Antonio Brown. They talk about all the other things he brings to the table: his work ethic, the hardest worker on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That what he does for the younger players. He is a force multiplier off the field. So now, if you're sitting there as the GM, the head coach, or the owner, you've got one guy that's been suspended twice, who's missed time for injuries. You don't really hear those things about him, the intangible aspect of it. So it's hard to make a reach like that. And we're not even talking about a little reach. We're talking about a gigantic reach.
Yeah, but it's an age-old argument that when you're at the top of your position, you try to market yourself outside that position so you can get more dollars. Center is the least paid of the offensive linemen. So once a guy becomes an elite center, what he says is he wants to be paid like a guard because he's better than the normal center. Our guards, you know what the guards are saying? That's what my man from Carolina said.
Norwell.
Yeah, he said, you know something, I'm the best guard you got. So they paid him like a tackle, $16 million to go from go from Carolina to Jacksonville. If you're a right tackle, you're going to make less money than the left tackle. But, I'm the best. Was my man saying in Philadelphia?
Lane Johnson.
I'm the best tackle they got out there, right or left. You know reason why? Because the economics of it. You can't go outside the economics of your position. I don't care what type of player that you think you are. I mean, Tom Brady right now is making $14 million. Now, he's not a great example, but he has decided that winning games and being involved in the middle of the salary cap and giving them the flexibility to get other players is far more important. Now, he's at the end of his career compared to a person like Le'Veon Bell. But Tom Brady is the best in the business. Aaron Rodgers. If Kirk Cousins is getting $28 million, what if Aaron Rodgers said, I want $38 million? He could do that. But he's not going to be able to do it because the position dictates a certain amount of dollars. And he's not a wide receiver. He's a running back, all right? They throw him the football. Marshall Faulk, they didn't pay him twice the amount when he was doing double duty, you know, when you go back in NFL history. So because of your position, it also will make you have to surrender to the type of dollars that are getting that position. Don't compare yourself to the wide receivers. Wide receivers, they have decided that they're going to pay, all right? And there's 10 guys making $14 or more million compared to the highest paid running back is making $8 million. So if you think that you're going to get that type of number, I just think
is this going to play out the way it did last year, or he's going to hold out all season, the will he or won't he?
Yeah, when you hear the discussion of, hey, we're going to table this for a little while, that used to always frustrate me with the general manager when we'd have those conversations. It's like, table it. It's not like you can't pick up the phone and call the other guy. It's not like you can't make proposals. It's not like working on this deal is so all-encompassing that everything else, everything else falls by the wayside. Like, why are we?
We're gonna take a break. We'll be back.
Yeah, we're tabling it for 2 months. Like, so that's just we're gonna sit where we are. You're gonna sit where you are. If you want to come back and talk, we'll come back and talk.
Lifespan of the running back has a lot to do with them not wanting to give the guarantees in a long-term contract.
All right, Coach, we'll see you a little bit later on. Coming up, should the Warriors be scared of a team in the West other than the Rockets? We've got the answer next on First Things First.